So if you remember last year, I did a review of every Christopher Nolan movie in anticipation for The Dark Knight Rises. Well, now that After Earth's coming out, I've decided to look at the filmography of another one of my favorite directors, M. Night Shyamalan. Now, M. Night gets a lot of shit, but truth be told, I probably wouldn't be here right now talking to you if it weren't for him. One of the movies we'll talk about today is the movie that pretty much got me into movies. I'll give you a hint. It's also the one Chris Stuckman says got him into movies. And while he hasn't made as many great films as Christopher Nolan, I still say he's right up there with him as one of the best directors working right now. So, let's not waste any time. You know how this works. First, we're going to start out with Praying with Anger. I've never seen this movie. I don't think most people have. From what I understand, it was at film festivals. It never got released to VHS, and much less DVD. There's actually a rumor that when The Sixth Sense came out, M. Night was so ashamed of Praying with Anger that he bought up as many copies of it as he could. I doubt that's true, but maybe. Now, even though I haven't seen the movie, I have seen the first 5 minutes. 5 minutes or so. It's on a video on YouTube, and I will post a link in the description to that video, and it looks okay. It looks like it'd be that movie I watched like once and really never watched again. The cinematography looks good for a first-time effort in 1992. The acting seems fine. Again, I'm doing this mostly unscripted. I have little snippets right there on my computer, so yeah, I don't know. I won't rank it or rate it, but it looks okay. Well, now maybe we can move on to a bigger movie with Wide Awake. Yes, this stars Rosie O'Donnell as a baseball-playing nun, and if that doesn't make you want to see this movie, I don't know. I don't own this movie. It was on YouTube, but it's not on there anymore, and that's how I saw it. And this movie's actually pretty good. It's actually a pretty damn good movie. Let me check here. It was made on a budget of like $6 million. It's got like a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is kind of sad, but I actually really enjoyed this film. Like, it was sad. It was funny. It was a great dramedy. It's about a kid who lost his grandfather, and he's a Christian. He goes to a Christian Catholic boys' school. After the death of his grandfather, he started to lose faith in his father, and so he goes looking for God or religion or something about that. And it's funny. It's really dramatic at times. There's a scene with his friend who has like seizures, and scenes with his grandfather right before he dies. Oh my god, and it's all in like one take, and we see him crying. It's like the saddest thing. But yeah, this one, again, I haven't seen it in a while. I want to get it. Like, I think I saw it in a 10 movie pack with a bunch of other kids movies, and I'm like, no. But if I ever do find it, I'll buy it. It's actually a really good movie. Not like outstanding or anything. There's nothing really about it that's like amazingly good. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's actually a really enjoyable film. But after that, he went back to his roots and did this little film called The Sixth Sense. The #1 thriller of all time. I wouldn't say quite that good. I think he made a better one, if it counts as a thriller, not just a sci-fi, but we'll get to that. Sixth Sense, it's great. It's a great film. I really don't have much to complain about in this, other than it's really just really overly serious and kind of slow in a few parts. It's just a really depressing film that makes it hard to watch at some points, which I guess is kind of the point, but some parts are just so mean-spirited to this poor kid. Yes, pretty much everyone loves it for its twist ending. To be honest, I knew the twist ending before this because it had been spoiled. I didn't watch it. I think this was like one of the last Shyamalan movies I watched. Yeah, the twist is great, and there's a lot of cool little clues. I won't spoil it. All of that, in my opinion, it makes sense. Like, some people say it creates plot holes, but I think it makes sense when you listen and pay attention. But besides the twist, it's got some great atmospheric scenes. It's just such a chilling movie. It's actually quite scary at times. There's some parts that just freaked me out. Acting wise, personally, I think Haley Joel Osment, I think I actually liked him more in the Steven Spielberg movie AI, but he did a great performance in this as well, and definitely deserved his Oscar nomination. And just the use of the color red, like M. Night always uses color, but this is like the big one. Like when there's red, you know that something's going down. There's some ghosts and stuff. I don't really have much to complain about this. It's a great movie, and I'm glad it got nominated for Best Picture that year. 1999 was like a great year for movies. 9 out of 10. Not quite perfect, but a great film nonetheless. But anyway, this one I can keep rather short because I just did a film exaggeration on it. Unbreakable. And it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I just don't think it's phenomenally good. Everyone's like, oh, it's so realistic. No, it's not. Oh, it's so interesting. Really? Oh, the acting's so good. He always directed them in like the slow whisper and all that. Like only once getting up when you needed to create like a mood or something. And it just did not really work in this movie. It just felt really, really depressing. Everything at this movie is just so dark and grim and depressing. It's so... and that just makes it kind of boring at times. Like, it's just so slow. Even directing-wise, it's mostly good. It's also extremely overdone, in my opinion. Like, there's no reason to have all of these shots be the most pretentious stuff ever. We're looking at them from behind these bars. It's supposed to symbolize that they're going to jail or something. Why are we looking through the seats? Whole conversation from that one angle. But the film mostly looks great. That scene with his son who has getting the gun, brilliant scene of suspense. Like that is like, no matter what you think of this movie, that scene is brilliant. And the twist, like with most people, they're like, I love the movie, but the twist was kind of disappointing. With me, the movie's okay, but that twist is amazing. Like in my opinion, it is the best twist he has ever made. Maybe I was a little hard on it in my film exaggeration. I guess you consider that more a Norty defends the signs from the Nostalgia Critic, like part 3 and 4, because I'm more or less just saying, you like this movie, yet you hate Signs? Everything you complain about in Signs is in here. So, don't consider it a film exaggeration, just consider it a Norty defends part 3 and 4. I'll give it a 6. It's a decent movie. I say check it out and see how you like it. Now we get into what I consider his best movie, Signs. I don't care what the Nostalgia Critic thinks. I don't care what anybody thinks. This is a brilliant film. Whether you like it for its writing, that's debatable. I'll say, like, I'm not gonna say it's a phenomenal film in the writing department. There's some corny dialogue and maybe a couple of parts that don't make sense. And yes, it's slow. I'll give you that. It's a slow build-up movie. You know what else is a slow science fiction movie? Alien. Great movie. Close Encounters. Great movie. Blade Runner. Good movie. 2001: A Space Odyssey. I didn't like it, but everyone else loves it, so the writing's debatable, but this is a beautifully directed movie. The acting, this is one of those ones where his low sort of whisper does actually work. So when they do get out of that whisper, you know something serious is going on, like that dinner scene where Mel Gibson is yelling at them. That is just heartbreaking to watch. The scene, they all get into a hug, and it's like one of the saddest scenes I have ever seen, and just the atmosphere. It is such a beautiful looking film. I love home like invasion stuff like that. Knowing that something's outside and you being trapped in there and it pounding and trying to get in, that scares the shit out of me. Outside, you can run. When you're in, you are trapped, and if they get in, you're screwed. The scene I saw first, I didn't see this until 2008. It came out in 2002. And the scene that made me want to see this was, I saw the scene with the Brazilian birthday party. At first I'm like, okay, what's this? There's shaky cam. Then the alien showed up. I jumped, I screamed, and I turned on the light. And then I looked it up and was like, okay, I gotta see this movie. And naturally, it became one of my favorite films of all time. 10 out of 10. One of my favorite thrillers, one of my favorite sci-fi movies. Please see it. Please, The Village. I like The Village. I just don't think it's a masterpiece, but I like it. My two big problems with this movie. One, it can get extremely boring. I mean, there are some points where I just want to fall asleep because it is so slow and so overly dramatic and kind of pretentious at times. And two, I don't remember most of these characters, like, at all. Like, I remember the two leads, they were good. Noah, you gotta feel sorry for him. Sigourney Weaver's a little memorable. Did you know Jesse Eisenberg's in this movie? Anyway, when they are going through the village and everyone's hiding, that is a scene of just breathtaking suspense. Like I said, I love home invasion stories, so when they're outside sort of pounding against the walls and you see Ivy out there looking for Joaquin Phoenix, whose name I don't remember because he's not that memorable. He's just, and the thing's coming up to her. I was just like, get inside now! More or less, this film just looks amazing. Besides Sixth Sense, this is the one where I think use of color in a Shyamalan movie. It is just a beautiful film. And, you know what? I liked the twists. All three of them. Okay, the middle one right there, that wasn't necessarily a twist, that was just a, oh, moment. But, I liked the first twist, and the last twist, which is the one most people think about, I thought that was fine. I thought, oh, that actually is sort of cool. And it actually brings up a lot of questions that are worth analyzing. Yeah, seriously, why don't we analyze this movie? Like, it brings up questions that are worth analyzing. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.